Welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast, your safe space to finally focus on YOU. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your self-care coach for moms, praying wife, and mom of four. And I know that being a Christ-centered mom is such a beautiful calling, but it can be so draining. That's why it's important to make sure you are filling your own cup. On this podcast, we'll discuss practical, holistic self-care strategies to help nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Because a mama who fills her own cup pours that back into her family with true peace and joy. Tune in for honest conversations about motherhood and self-care because you matter too. Blessings, mamas, and welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your host and self-care coach for moms. And today I have with me special guest, Angela Fuller. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I'm super excited to share your wonderful story with my audience. All right, ladies, let me tell you about Angela. Angela Fuller is a mom, fitness instructor, gymnast, American Ninja warrior, and speaker who inspires women to reclaim their health, confidence, and dreams. After a car accident, chronic pain, and postpartum depression, she made a gymnastics comeback in her 40s, proving it's never too late to pursue your passions. With faith, movement, and self-care, Angela shows moms how to reclaim their energy, confidence, and joy while raising children. Her comeback story has been featured on AP, Fox, NBC, ABC, CBS, and Inside Gymnastics magazine. And she loves sharing her story to inspire courage, resilience, and second chances. Wow. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been quite the journey. I know it's when I hear my bio out loud, I'm always like, oh my goodness, that is a lot. And I also just think, oh my goodness, God's so good, right? So this is a God story for sure. So I do actually want to take you guys back just a little bit to give you a little of the backstory because I started as a gymnast and cheerleader growing up. And so I was an athlete my whole life. And then out of college, I was in a really bad car accident. And that's when I got my severe back injuries. And so my life totally shifted. And I was no longer an athlete and no longer doing what I loved. But I shifted into corporate America and I got married and had babies. And during my second pregnancy, actually, I injured my back further and I was put on disability for a short time. So that was extremely hard. And then I had the postpartum depression. And then I had a divine encounter actually with Jesus and I was saved. Yep. And then I was baptized and everything just went from there. And so then I hired a nutritionist and I did strength training and I got in the best shape of my life. And then I decided to start teaching group fitness because I wanted to bring that sparkle back for other mamas and show them that self-love and care. And then I saw a mom hit a buzzer on American Ninja Warrior and I was like, oh my goodness, I want to do that. And then, so I started training for that. That's really hard to get on. It took 4 years and I finally got the call. And then I decided I wanted to return to my childhood sport of gymnastics after 27 years away. So I went back and started competing and then just recently made history in gymnastics doing the 14 event Omnathon at Nationals where I did all 14 events. And it's been incredible. And then I just also was just featured in People magazine as well. So it's been so surreal. And I'm just so excited to talk to you guys about it because I was definitely the mama on the sidelines of my life. And I got off the sidelines and look what happened.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That's so amazing. You inspired me. I'm like, wow. I love that you said you got off the sidelines of your life. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of mamas are on the sideline. They're like, cheering for your kiddos, making sure they succeed, and you're on the sideline on the bench. But we both can be on the court or, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can chase dreams together. So my big inspiration too is my best friend was fighting terminal breast cancer. That was my really big wake up call as well. And I just remember all of our conversations. It was like, I don't want to have regrets in life. And so I have these dreams of flipping and flying. And that's what like my soul loves to do. And so I just thought, let's do it. But I will tell you, I love this little story because when I got into ninja, I did take my son to a ninja gym because I was going to live through his dreams. Like so many moms do that, right? Like,
right.
well, I can't do gymnastics, but I'll like go have my child do it. So I was sitting on the sideline and the coach was like, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, I want to try. So I went out there and played and I was instantly hooked. And that's how the whole dream began. And I was terrible at first. I, did this little tiny hop on the bar and now I'm like flying 10 feet. So we all start somewhere as well. So I do want you to know, like, embrace that we're beginners and that's okay too. And that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's how it started.
He said, "I wanna
Yeah.
fly." I love
Yeah. I was
it.
like, I want to fly.
And now you're
Any
doing it.
gymnast knows that, like, when you grow up as a gymnast, you love being upside down and you love flipping and flying. There's just this like feeling you get in your soul.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much about yourself. So, since you already shared extra, I'm going to ask you to maybe dig a little deeper. What's something that's, I'll just say, usually I say what's not in your bio, but what's something that people don't know about you that you like to share with us?
Yeah. I'm actually I really struggle with self confidence. And like, even when I started teaching group fitness, I was a student in the back row of this class and I didn't want anybody to see me and I was hiding and I really didn't like attention and I just kind of wanted to come and do my thing and leave. And so I actually am quite shy. So I think that's really surprising because people are like, what? You were on a national TV show and you're doing all this stuff. And so it is really challenging for me. But I always say if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So I'm constantly putting myself out there because it's just so important. Yes. I say it to my class all the time when they don't want to do something. And I pull students up front with me to dance all the time. And I'm like, I want people to get out of their comfort zone. Like that's where all the growth happens. And
Right.
so, yeah, so I think it's a really surprising. People are like, what? You are you struggle with self confidence. And I do. I just have to put myself out there.
Right. And for those who are watching on YouTube, you saw me get my pen. I forgot to say it. Y'all know I forget sometimes, but that was good. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. I've heard that before, I
Yep.
think, but sometimes we need to hear it over and over and over for that confirmation. So that was really good.
Yeah. My other favorite thing that I always tell people is whenever you're doing something new or you're chasing a dream, there's always fear. And, that like, I don't know if I can do this. And I always say, fear, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So that's my other favorite thing because it's so easy in life when we're scared or something feels like it's too big or too much. We want to run and hide and be like, I don't want to do that. Like, but you have to think, and I think about this every morning when I even struggle. Sometimes I'm like, you're going to rise, Angela, no matter what you're facing today, every challenge, you're going to rise. And so yeah. So that's my other favorite thing because I know that getting out of your comfort zone is really hard. And sometimes we feel like mamas, like we are invisible, and we're just kind of, yeah, in the background. So putting ourselves into the light and into the spotlight is uncomfortable for us as moms, right? We're naturally more caretakers
Hmm.
and encouraging our children to be in the spotlight. So when we now are reverse role, like when my boys were on my sideline on American Ninja Warrior with signs saying "Go Mom," it was like we're role reversing a little bit,
Yeah.
but it teaches our kids that like our mamas matter.
It teaches us too, like our children want the same thing for us that we want for them. Like you talked about the role reversal.
Yeah, and how much do we spend our time telling our children like you need to do this or da da da? And it's like, but when they see you do it, so like I'm an athlete with my boys, right? So when my boys go to a football game or something like that and they struggle, we get to have current conversations of like, well, my gymnastics meet last week, I struggled with this. And, it's not a past conversation of like, back in the day when I was an athlete.
True,
So there's
true.
something really magical about that. Like we're having current conversations. We're chasing dreams together. Like there's a really cool feeling there. And I get a lot of mamas that say, well, someday when the boys
Mhm.
are out of the house or when the kids are gone, I'll do everything. But what I learned through my, best friend's cancer journey is like tomorrow's not promised. And so what are we waiting for?
What are we waiting for? I
Yeah.
love also that you said we're chasing dreams together. Oh, I'm like, oh, that's so good. I
Yeah.
love that. You can chase, you
Yeah, it
don't have
goes
to wait.
against, yes, and it kind of goes against, like, I think as a mom, how we think. So, my favorite question to moms is, like, what are your dreams? And so many of them look at me and say a dream they have for their kid. And I'm like, no, 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 like, what do you dream about? You matter, right?
Hmm.
And so I always have moms, it's really interesting. And usually they'll get back to me like a week later and say, I want to run a marathon or I've always wanted to write a book. And I'm like, go do it.
Right.
And then I hold them accountable. If they tell me their dream, I'm following up. Like, are you doing this? Are you?
Mhm.
Because they'll find every excuse why they can't do it now.
Yeah, go back into mom mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you shared about postpartum depression and injuring your back, and that's a lot. Postpartum depression in itself is a lot, I know.
Yeah.
So, what would you say would be the difference between, because a lot of moms, they aren't pursuing their dreams because they're in survival mode. So, what would
Yes.
you say is a difference between like survival mode and actually healing and pushing through that?
Yeah. So, yes, postpartum depression's really hard. And I kept it from everyone. I didn't tell anyone. I felt a lot of shame. So now, obviously, I talk a lot about it because I don't want moms to have that shame. And so, sharing removes the shame. So I think
Mm,
it's really important to get that out there. So yeah, it is very hard. I've been in the darkest place you can possibly be where I didn't feel like I should be here anymore and I wasn't a good mom. And now look what God has done. So I always tell women you're not being buried, you're being planted. So when you're in that really dark season, you just have to know God's going to redeem that season. But I know it's difficult when you're there and you are just in that survival mode. But I will say, like, I always tell, especially new mamas, you have to get out of the house and you have to take care of yourself. So give the baby to dad or whoever for
mhm,
an hour. Go do that 1 hour fitness class where you don't have to worry about anybody but yourself. So remove that mom guilt. As cheesy as it is, you can't pour from that empty cup, right? You can't be the incredible mom you want to be if you aren't fulfilled and you
agree.
don't love yourself. So you're going to be a better mom, even though you feel like you're leaving your child. You need to do that for yourself. And so I think that's the biggest thing is just show up. You need to get out of the house. Like, I don't, and that's the biggest thing. I just wouldn't leave the house and I was just stuck with the kids. And I felt like that's
Mhm.
where I was supposed to be. And so
Yeah.
yeah, it's extremely hard. And also having a chronic back injury, which I struggled with for 14 years. So I slept on a heating pad every single night. And that was the biggest thing. I hid a lot of my struggles, and that's my biggest regret. I should have gotten help. I should have been more vocal. And so that's the other thing is don't hide it,
Mhm.
get help. That's huge. But yes, it's a very dark, hard place to be. But you've got to move your body. You got to get out of the house.
Yes, I heard share, don't hide it, and get out the house.
Yeah, totally. There you go.
I agree, get out the
Yeah.
house.
But I do love that sharing removes the shame because how many times as women in particular, we just want to pretend like everything's great.
Right.
I'm fine, everything's great. And then we just hold all these emotions and things we're going. And what I've learned and why I love doing podcasts and sharing my story is that there's always some mama out there that needs to hear your story. And you're now going to be like the blueprint book to help them through whatever they're struggling with. So if we don't share our stories, these women are going to feel like they're alone, like I did. I needed my story. I needed this podcast, when I was struggling. And so that's why I enjoy sharing it so much.
Yes, in the same way she's sharing her story and motivating you, when you share your story, it's gonna motivate somebody else. It may not be on a
Yes.
podcast, it may be at a coffee, when you're having coffee, it may be at church, but your testimony is powerful.
Yes. Amen. And we have to share what God's doing in our life, right? He's so awesome and he can just do such incredible things. So that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. And what do you think God wants us to know? You talked about it a little bit, what he wants us to know in the hard seasons of motherhood.
You're not alone. That's the biggest thing. He's there with you. He knows your pain. He knows what you're going through. He knows gosh, I'm going to get tear eyed. He knows the big picture. When he came to me, when I was in a closet, literally rocking myself and I was just done, he came to me and I heard him say, I have big plans for you. And there was a bright light and his hand came down. And I know a lot of people are like, really, that happened? And it 100% happened. It was so incredible. And my life changed completely from that moment on. I went and grabbed my baby, picked him up, and was like, we got this, buddy. And like, literally, look what he's done. Like,
God
he
is
took this
good.
broken back mama and like put her in American Enjoyer and People Magazine and all these things. And so, if he can do this with my life, he can do this with your life.
You got me tearing up.
Yeah.
Goodness.
You know that song, like, I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about what he's done? Yeah, I love that song because that's how I feel. Not that I'm a nobody, but I also I'm just a suburban mama in Colorado who gave my life to Christ and he changed it.
Amazing. What a beautiful testimony. Being honest, when I read your bio, I was like, oh my goodness, like she has done all these amazing things. When it got hard, like you talked about, doing American Ninja, how did you press through that? Like realistically, like a day to day thing, how did you press through that when it got hard?
Yes. Oh my goodness. And yeah, when I got on the show, it was a huge thing. And I was like, oh my goodness. And like I told you before, I struggle with confidence and all that. And I'm like, I'm going to be on national TV and lights everywhere and everything. And it was so on the show, my logo is faith over fear. So that's my huge thing. It's a girl in a handstand and a cross. And truly just giving it to him. So even before I went on that stage, I prayed and I was like, God, this is your story, whatever this looks like. I even said, Jesus, take the wheel right before I went, because that's the really cool thing too now I realize that it is his plan, it's his story. So when things go wrong or they don't go the way I want them to go, I'm okay with it because I know it's his story and he's going to use it for good. So that takes so much pressure off. I always tell people, like, I think it's too many times we want to control everything and we're thinking like it's our plan,
Mhm.
but it's not our plan. It's his story, it's his glory, it's his plan, it's his timing. It's all him.
Yeah.
And so that for me has been my faith has been absolutely everything. It's my foundation and everything. Every time I get a call of an exciting opportunity or any TV appearance or anything, I'm really calm, which is crazy because when I was little, I was like crippled by fear at gymnastics meets and everything. And so I'm this very calm person now because I have his peace with me everywhere I go. Yeah. So it's all Jesus.
That's so good. So good. I love that. I need to start doing that. I need to start.
Yeah.
This is confirmation. Like, it's not that I haven't heard this before, but it's just like, I tell you guys, a lot of us, and I say me included, 'cause I put my hand up, want to be in control of everything, but that puts a lot of pressure on you. And like you said, it's God's story, it's God's will. So give it to Him, and that takes the pressure off of you. So again talking to y'all and talking to
Yeah.
myself.
Let go, let God.
Hmm. Yeah, let go and let God.
But I think it's a human thing to want to control. I also think it's a mothering thing to want to control.
Hmm.
And so when you have both those things, it is hard. And I've had so many dreams. I didn't hit a buzzer on American Ninja Warrior. I did it, things. I've had meets where they don't go well. And every single time I walk out with a smile, I remember on American Ninja Warrior, they're like, you're the happiest person to be here. And I'm like, oh, I'm the happiest person because I know God put me on that stage. And I know that whatever the outcome was, I came out of the water with the biggest smile. And they kept saying, what happened on the obstacle? And I'm like, I'm an American Ninja Warrior. Thank you for making my dream come true. And the producers were like, oh my goodness. And then I got to go back in the tent and cheer people up that didn't do well and remind them like what a blessing it is just to be there. And winning is different for everybody too, right? And the journey matters. And so another big thing that I promote is purpose over podium. So I do that a lot with my boys and any athlete and making them realize that the medal collects dust. It goes into a box. It's not going to mean anything someday. But the way you feel that self-pride, inspiring others, sportsmanship, no one can take that from you. And so that needs to be more of the focus. So being on the podium's fun, but it shouldn't be the goal.
Goodness, that was good. That was
Yeah.
another, as some people say, another mic drop. Purpose over podium. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Because
really
we're all
good.
here for a purpose.
Hmm.
And all the gifts that God gives us, they serve a purpose.
Right. That is so good.
He doesn't just make you an awesome gymnast in your 40s just because. Like,
Just because.
I knew, and I remember even going on the stage on American Ninja where I knew I was like, oh my goodness, God, like the amount of women that I get to inspire just by being here. Cause
Hmm.
there's hardly any women in their 40s on that show. It's mostly teenagers now. So, it's one of those, I'm redefining midlife. I want to show women that, our 40s is our launch pad. It is not the end point.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's like the best time of my life because I have so much wisdom
Yeah.
up until this point, and now I get to be an athlete with all these past experiences, so it's awesome.
That's awesome. You have a lot of reasons to be confident. I will say that. I love that. You said redefining midlife. And I'm going through perimenopause and stuff. So
Me too,
it's
me too.
okay. Okay. It's an interesting time in life. But they do say that in your 40s is like your best years because you have more wisdom. I know for women, they say, and it may be perimenopause, you know, you're not stressed about stuff you used to be, different things like that. So I think that's awesome. And I think that is I thank you for showing up and for being obedient so that I didn't see you on American Ninja Warrior, but if I can go find it, I'm gonna go find it and watch it.
Yes, I'm gonna post a reel probably today of me, like, because it was actually 3 years ago. This
Okay.
in a couple days, I of me coming on stage, like, utter joy, and even the announcer is like, "She's the happiest person to be here," and it's all his light shining through me. It's really cool too. On the freeze frame of the photo of me, there's like a bright light behind me that like shines, and I feel like that's just showing like this is God put her out here, you know.
Mhm.
So I do. But yeah, midlife's really hard. And so anybody listening to this going through perimenopause, I am with you, ladies. And I'm still doing gymnastics. Like at my national meet, I was having hot flashes. When
That's
I
so
get
crazy.
nervous, now I like profusely sweat and have hot flashes. And I've got autoimmune diseases. I've got all sorts of stuff. I have every reason not to be doing what I'm doing, but I keep showing up, right? Even tumbling on a back that was broken, like, is crazy. So, yeah, you can really overcome anything. And also, it is your body goes where your mind goes. It truly does. You know, our minds are so powerful. We can sit there and feel sorry for ourselves and think, oh my goodness, this hurts and I can't do this. But we can overwrite that. So, you always have to remember that. So, I've learned a lot of mental control over my body, which has been huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this.
Yes, Lord help us.
My mom did not adequately prepare me for this stage.
Mhm. We were talking about that, and I don't think a lot of moms necessarily knew what it was. So they were like you talked about earlier, holding it in, everything's okay. But, us as their children, we're like, no, something's going on. So I've talked to my children about it. I've talked to
Yes.
them. I said, some people call it like reverse puberty. So my
Yeah.
daughter is 16. I'm like, you know how you have your emotions going on and stuff? Same with me. I'm going through the same thing.
I know. And so I have teen boys, they're 15 and 17. And so, yeah, they're going through their hormones and we're going through the I'm like, this timing,
It's crazy. It's
there's
crazy.
too many hormones in this house.
I know my husband be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
a lot,
goodness.
but I'm so excited. Like, I feel like our world is talking about it a lot now, and
Yes.
I feel like we didn't used to. So it's a really open conversation. And I think that's so, once again, like sharing removes the shame. Like, this
Yeah.
is part of being a woman, and we go through these stages. And so we have to share our stories in these stages that it doesn't have to define us. It doesn't have to slow us down. It doesn't have to stop us. We can rise above it. We're not done.
Mhm. We're not done.
We're not done.
That's
We're
right.
just getting started. We're only halfway through our life. Like,
Mhm.
we have so much more to do. And that's the other thing. I bring a huge awareness to adult gymnastics. So, adult gymnastics, people are like, what? That's a thing. It's a huge thing. It's worldwide. There's over 700 classes worldwide right now. There's over 25,000 of us on Facebook groups online. There's over 1,700 of us at nationals every year. So, it's huge. It's here. It's growing. It's booming. Women miss their childhood sport and they realize there's no expiration date. And that goes beyond gymnastics. If there's something you did as a child, you can do it again. Nobody said you're done.
That's right. I didn't know that. Wow, that's amazing.
It's huge. I know it's like this unknown. It's funny because I've been, a few of my news stories have been like, adult gymnastics is a thing with a question mark or
Mhm.
whatever. And it's like, yeah, we're like this hidden little group. But when you start digging into it, there are literally adult leagues for all sports.
Okay.
So I think people gymnastics though, everybody just visualizes it more as a teenager sport.
Mhm.
Because I left it at 14 and I never thought I'd come back because I was injured. And the cool thing about the league I'm in is it's for the love of the sport. That's what their slogan is.
Mhm.
So it's so fun. Like when you fall, you just laugh. And like it's so cool. Everybody's just so excited to be doing gymnastics and everybody just cheers each other on. And there's people doing forward rolls and there's people doing double backs. Like it doesn't matter. We're going to cheer you on. And so I did Masters World Cup a few years ago, and there was a 77-year-old woman from Japan tumbling,
That's
full out
crazy.
back handsprings. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, I'm going to be you someday.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, she had some knee braces and stuff, but she was doing it.
That's amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much with us and inspiring the mamas. And if you have not, make sure you get your pen out, rewind this episode, pause, and write down because she gave some goodies, y'all. Some goodies for you to apply to your life. All right. So, something I like to ask all my guests, what's your favorite form of self care?
Dancing. I teach Zumba. I absolutely love dancing. It's just my soul is so happy.
That's awesome. I used to teach body jam back in the day.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I love it. I always tell people like if you are struggling, go to a Zumba class. Literally, the community is so welcoming. No one cares if you're a good dancer or not. No one's watching you. They're so supportive. They're so loving. So if you're listening and you're struggling, go find a Zumba class or dance fitness or whatever.
Yeah, dance is so fun. That's I feel like myself, and I've talking about something you've done since you're little. I've danced since I was little. I haven't been dancing recently, but
Girl, you got to get dancing again.
it's
Yeah.
just so fun. Like if you don't like what some people would consider traditional exercise, dancing is so fun. It gets your energy out, gets that stress out. It's so fun.
Yeah. And it's for an hour. You don't have to worry about anything. You can't scroll your phone. You can't check your email. You can't check your text. You literally are just focused on yourself for 1 hour. And I think we all can admit that nowadays that is hard. We're very, right? We're very tempted by our phones to constantly look down. We're very distracted. So I love it. I'm like, for 1 hour, I get to throw a party. And yeah, it's so much fun. And I have ages from like 13-year-olds to 86-year-olds. So
Wow.
it's like a huge group. Yeah, I love it so much.
That's so awesome. I miss dance. Actually, I was taking a line dancing class. That was fun too. That was different but fun. I like it.
Oh yeah, I love line dancing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when we get off the call today, you're gonna go sign up for a dance class,
Yes, ma'am.
right? And I'm gonna check in with you in a month and be like, how's your dance class
Yes,
going?
ma'am.
Because all of us like, yeah, I'm gonna do that someday. And then it's
Mm.
like, no, do that now. What are you
Yeah,
waiting for?
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So, Angela, where can we find you online?
Yes. So I love Facebook, probably because of our age, right? It's still my favorite. It's so warm fuzzy. Angela Fuller on Facebook. And then I am on Instagram. It's under COLO Fitness Chick. So like Colorado Fitness Chick. And then I am on YouTube, Angela Fuller, but I'm not on there very much. I'm on TikTok. I'm the Happy Dance Ninja. That was my ninja name on the show. I know.
So cute.
Yeah. So when I train, I get so excited if I hit a skill and I like dance, and all my training partners are like, "You are ridiculous, Angela." And I'm like, I'm excited.
I love
So
that.
like my happy dance. So yeah, happy dance ninja. And yeah, and I also, if you do follow me online, I like to share my fails and all that in my stories because I like to keep it real. I feel like a lot of times people go to your page and they're like, this woman's amazing. And I'm like, no, let me show you how I'm not. Let me show you how it took me 10 times to get that lachey. So you have to remember that you don't know when you go to someone's page where they started. And then also on my social media, I do have a pinned post of my story visually. So if you do want to see visually, I'm a visual person. So if you do want to see that, it'll be on there too.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Well,
yeah,
awesome. Well, I'll have that in the show notes for you guys. You can go check her out. Well, thank you again so much for sharing your amazing story and inspiration with my beautiful audience of mamas.
thank you so much for having me.
And if is there anything that you like to share just really quickly before we get off to a mama who may be struggling?
Yes, just remember to dream big. It's never too late, and never ever give up. So I know that you feel like your time is done or you're a mom now and you can't do all these things, but you can and you should and you matter. So go chase your dreams.
Yes, chase those dreams. Well, mamas, if this episode blessed you, which I hope it did, share with the mama you love, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a review as well. Until next time, take care. God bless. Thanks so much for joining me for the Mom Self Care Podcast. I hope you feel inspired to make yourself a priority too. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Share this podcast with another mama you love and leave a review. Also, feel free to let me know what you would like to hear about in future episodes by visiting me on Instagram at CIC Inspire Me. Until next time, take some time to take care of YOU because you matter too.